afternoon. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu calls for government, Nigerians' collaboration in nation building ahead 64th Independence celebration. Federal government approves 350 billion naira to support dams, irrigation facilities. On the foreign scene, Israel confirms death of another Hezbollah commander, strikes targets in Yemen. And in sports, Nigeria's Quadri Aruna reaches World Table Tennis China Smash round of 16. And now the details. I am Mike James. Legacy Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for collaborative efforts of all Nigerians as the country pulls through the current economic situation ahead its 64th independence anniversary. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this at a Thanksgiving service, Ministry of Home Affairs, as part of activities marking the National Independence Day. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Chief of Staff, Sam Egube, described the theme of the celebration, rebuilders of broken foundations, taken from Isaiah 58, verse 12, as apt, especially at this period when the country is going through challenges that have threatened its peace and development. Governor Sanwo-Olu urged Nigerians to exercise more patience with the present administration in the country as they contribute positively to the healing, renewal of the nation by being patriotic and showing love to one another.
In the journey of nation building, governments alone cannot bear the weight of transformation. Every individual has a role to play in rebuilding the foundations of our great nation. Responsibility for governance by the citizen must go beyond the ballot box to active participation through organized feedback mechanisms, lobbying, volunteering, and enterprise that shape the evolution of our physical spaces and our interaction with one another.
The governor also pledged his administration's commitment to addressing the immediate and long-term needs of the people by building critical foundations for socio-economic development of the state through transformational programs and projects in transportation, education, technology, health, among others, to drive the state's economic growth. Earlier in his sermon, Bishop Jeremiah Adeyemi of CMAG International Ministry urged Nigerians to be patient and in humility seek the face of God for a divine turnaround as the country pulls through the current rebuilding process.
And thank God the Lord has given us beautiful people in this country, and they are doing their best, and we are believing God that the Lord will continue to orchestrate their steps, be with them, give them wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding to take Nigeria to our expectation.
Prayers were offered for the President, Vice President, and their families. Governor Sanwo-Olu and family, members of the Lagos State Executive Council, residents of the state, peace and unity of Nigeria, Greater Lagos, other states, economy, security, among others. The event was attended by members of the State Executive Council, top government officials, party faithful, voluntary and religious bodies, representatives of security agencies, students, among others. The Ministry of Establishment and Training, in conjunction with the Public Service Office and Civil Service Commission, has held a multilateral stakeholders meeting on career management at the Secretariat Al Hausa. The meeting, which drew together directors of administration and human resources from different ministries, departments, and agencies, was organized to address critical issues affecting career progression in the state's public service and develop a framework to tackle these challenges effectively. In her remarks, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Establishment and Training, Olubusola Abidakun, stated that the meeting marked a significant step towards enhancing the state's public service. Abidakun emphasized the importance of the gathering, noting that issues and resolutions would be documented and implemented. She encouraged knowledge sharing amongst officers, adding that officers must learn from one another to effectively discharge official duties and enhance service delivery. Troops of 6th Division, Nigerian Army, in conjunction with other security agencies, have sustained their crackdown against economic sabotage in the Niger Delta, dismantling 20 illegal refineries and impounding 22 boats. The troops also arrested 11 suspects, seized arms of various calibers and cartridges, as well as over 118,000 litres of stolen products. In a statement, the acting deputy director, 6th Division Army Public Relations, Danjuma, said the troops effectively deactivated 4 active artisanal refineries, 3 wooden boats, and recovered over 35 litres of stolen products. And over to the rest of the stories. The federal government has approved over 350 billion naira to support dams and expansion of facilities across the country. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, who made this known, said the flooding is a dramatic change and a global challenge. Bagudu said a number of interventions have been approved by the president, in addition to numerous timely releases of federal allocation account money. He said the federal government allocated 3 billion naira to each state of the federation to mitigate the effects of flooding. Bagudu also revealed that the Federal Executive Council had approved 900 billion naira on the Kebbi component of the Sokoto-Badagry Highway. The Technical Subcommittee on Domestic Sales of Crude Oil in Local Currency has confirmed that the supply of crude in naira by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery is to begin on Tuesday, October 1. The committee on September 13 announced that the Federal Executive Council, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, approved the sale of crude to local refineries in naira and the corresponding purchase of petroleum products in naira. The chairman of the Technical Subcommittee, Zach Adedeji, explained that the technical committee that worked to flesh out the initiative would transition to an implementation, execution, and monitoring committee that would be working out of Lagos for the next 3 to 6 months. And in some foreign news, the Israeli military has confirmed the death of another high-ranking Hezbollah official in an airstrike as the terrorist group in Lebanon reels from a string of devastating blows and the killing of its longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah. The Israel Defense Forces said it kicked Nabil Kaouk, the deputy head of Hezbollah's central county, in an airstrike on Saturday. Hezbollah confirmed his death, making him the 7th senior Hezbollah leader slain in Israeli strikes in a little over a week. They include founding members who had evaded death or detention for decades. Kaouk was a veteran member of Hezbollah going back to the 1980s and served as Hezbollah's military commander in southern Lebanon during the 2006 war with Israel. And in sports news, Nigeria table tennis icon Kadri Aruna on Sunday made a bright start to his World Table Tennis China smash by defeating Benedek Ola 3-1 in a round of 6-4 match in Beijing, China. The world number 19 thus progressed to the round of 32 of the tournament. Aruna, whose highest world ranking stands at 10, making him the first African player to be ranked in the top 10 in the world, looks to make up for his dismal outing at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, where he got eliminated in a round of 64 in men's singles table tennis by Eduard Inoescu of Romania in a comeback game of 4-3. The $2 million prize money tournament runs from September 26 to October 6. And that was our news at 12. But just before we go, always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supplied 86,012 furniture sets to 775 public schools? Well, you can get more details. It's on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for collaborative efforts of all Nigerians as the country pulls through the current economic situation ahead its 65th independence anniversary. The federal government has approved over 350 billion naira to support dams and expansion of facilities across the country. We also told you that Israeli military has confirmed the death of another high-ranking Hezbollah official in an airstrike as the terrorist group in Lebanon reels from a string of devastating blows and the killing of its longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah. And in sports, Nigeria table tennis icon Quadri Aruna on Sunday made a bright start to his World Table Tennis China smash by defeating Benedek Ola 3-1 in a round of 64 match in Beijing, China. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Abiola Fagbalago. Thank you for listening, Lagos. Beautiful Monday afternoon to you. It's now time for me to step aside for the duo of Temitope Peterside and Micah Arocha. They'll be here to take you through fire service calling, and then at 12:30 it'll be time for lunchtime work. I'll have a wonderful time.